Let's dive into the world of first aid and what it's all about. Essentially, first aid is the immediate care given to someone who is hurt or sick before the arrival of professional medical help. It is crucial for you to remember that you are not expected to perform miracles. It is important to remember to stay within your personal first aid skill set and not push yourself above your limits. Knowing what you are capable of will help you to provide the best possible care. First aid peak bodies. Get ready to learn some amazing first aid skills today. The material you'll be diving into was created by some of the top clinical bodies in Australia, including the Australian Resuscitation Council, the ARC. The ARC is the superhero organisation responsible for setting the Australian standards and guidelines for providing CPR and first aid. So you can rest assured that you're in great hands and will be learning the best techniques out there. Let's get started and become the heroes that our communities need. Workplace first aid. If you're in the position to provide first aid to a co-worker, it's crucial to follow not only the Australian Resuscitation Council guidelines, but also the first aid policies outlined by your workplace. This includes staying up to date with occupational health and safety regulations. By following these guidelines and policies, you'll ensure the safety and well-being of not only your co-worker, but also yourself and everyone around you. Legal considerations. When it comes to providing first aid to someone in need, it's important to keep a few legal requirements in mind. One of them is the duty of care, which means that we need to stay within our skill set and be aware of our limitations with first aid training. Another important legal requirement is obtaining consent. If the patient is awake and alert, it's vital to communicate with them and receive their consent before providing any first aid. This ensures that they are fully aware and comfortable with the help they are receiving. Consent. Did you know that if someone is unconscious and can't give consent, the law assumes that they've given permission to receive first aid? Good Samaritan laws exist to protect you if you're acting with good intentions while providing first aid. To this day, no one in Australia has ever been sued for giving first aid. Respectful treatment. When it comes to providing first aid, obtaining consent is crucial, but it's also important to be respectful of the casualty's wishes and beliefs while providing care. Remember, you're there to help, not to impose your beliefs on others. It's not allowed to provide someone with care that goes against their will, so be sure to communicate with them and understand their preferences before administering any aid. If you've received training in first aid and someone at your workplace gets injured or falls sick, it is your responsibility to provide care if you're able to. The same goes for if you're involved in a motor vehicle accident. While you're not legally obligated to provide first aid in other situations, you can still choose to do so if you feel comfortable and confident in your abilities. First aid reports. When a first aid incident occurs in the workplace, it's important for you as the first aid provider to fill out an incident report form afterwards. This serves as a permanent record of what happened and helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page moving forward. Remember to complete the report as soon as possible after the incident while the details are still fresh in your mind, and keep in mind that it is a confidential document. Sharing information from the report without the first aid provider's consent is against the law. So make sure to handle the report with care and professionalism to maintain confidentiality and uphold the trust of your colleagues. Workplace requirements. Safe Work Australia has developed a guide for workplaces that provides practical tips on how to be ready for a medical emergency. The guide covers a variety of topics, including how many staff members need first aid training, what to include in first aid kits, and how to assess risks in the workplace. By following these guidelines, your workplace can be better equipped to handle unexpected situations and ensure the safety of everyone on site.